Hi, I'm Lita Leapins.
And I'm Jim Gordon.
And welcome to another edition of Our City Tonight.
Well, folks, we continue with our return, cautiously, slowly, on location with filming in some of the great locations here in this city. We're at the very hip Moda Hotel in the Arts and Entertainment District of Vancouver, right around the Seymour and Smythe area. We're going to check out some great cocktails here at Uva Cocktail and Wine Bar.
And we are going to try their food at their sister property right next door, Cibo Trattoria, and we absolutely can't wait.
That's right. Well, Lita's going to do the cocktails right behind us where the lights are. That's coming up after you watch this.
Well, we're here at Uva. I just learned that Uva Wine and Cocktail Bar has been around since 2008. And wow, that's a long time. That's a great success story. We're here with Morgan, who is the lead bartender here at Uva, and we have some really awesome summer-inspired cocktails for us to try today. And we're going to start with, obviously, the really pretty pink-red one here. Tell us a little bit about this cocktail that you've made.
Sure. So this one is the Midsummer Dream. So it's a cocktail made with Hendrick's Gin, who's released their new limited edition for the summer called Midsummer Solstice. And it's really refreshing and crispy and floral inspiration in this gin. So it's just perfect for the summer. And for the color, we used some pickled beetroot syrup to bring some sweetness in the cocktail. We used Aperol, which is an orange liqueur from Italy, and Martini Bianco, which is an Italian vermouth. And on top of it, we had some soda water and some cucumber bitters.
Definitely a summer sipper. That's going to be absolutely delicious, and everyone, it's already popular, I know. I have sipped that one before here. And so for our second one, what do we have here in front of us?
So this one is the Life in Lavender. So it's a more like spirit-forward cocktail made with wild turkey bourbon. So to balance the strength of this drink, we had some Coquille Americano, which is an Italian vermouth, dry vermouth. And we also had some lavender and lemon syrup to bring some floral notes. And on top of it, just a couple of dashes of cherry bitters.
Sounds absolutely delicious. Now, you are also opening Uva during the day now. You're coming back to your European-inspired espresso bar, so 7 a.m. people can come down and can they have a cocktail too, or is it just going to be coffee?
Oh, I'm sure.
7 a.m. Well, I think, yeah, definitely not. We'll be waiting for the afternoon. Wonderful place, Uva. Always some of the best cocktails, I have to say, in the city. Keep up these great creative inspirations. We'll be down for sure to enjoy these this summer. And thanks again, Morgan. We certainly appreciate your time here.
You're welcome.
Well, over the last few months, if you've been watching Our City Tonight, you've noticed we've been doing a number of New Zealand spotlights. A lot of people, including myself, have been there and love that country. We've covered the wine, which we all like in this part of the world. We talked about some of their music coming our way. Well, now we're going to talk business, and it is a great pleasure to have the CEO and founder of Antipodes Skincare, all the way from New Zealand, of course. It's Elizabeth Barbalich. Elizabeth, welcome to Our City Tonight.
Good afternoon, Jim.
Elizabeth, your presence, of course, is in Canada. You are here and 40 other countries on top of that. You're going to increase your presence here in Canada. But before we get to that, let's talk a bit about Antipodes Skincare. And for our viewers that may not know of the product, give us a little background on this wonderful company.
Yeah, sure. So Antipodes is a scientific green beauty brand. It's a brand I started 15 years ago when, as a mother with young children, I was looking for products for my dry and sensitive skin. I wanted to transition from the conventional brands to a natural, organic, vegan product, and I couldn't find anything suitable on the marketplace. So as I have a background in science, I set about looking at formulas and starting to think around ideas to develop my own product range. And now 15 years later, I have 50 products, and as you said, in 40 countries.
Including Canada. Let's talk a little bit about how, as I said, you're here, but you want to increase the presence in our country. Talk a bit about some of the thinking and the marketing that went into that in terms of being more visible here in Canada.
Yeah, so Canada for me is a super exciting market, and we're thrilled to be expanding our presence through a great distribution partner. For me, Canada has a lot of similarities to the New Zealand marketplace. People are living a lifestyle of health and sustainability. They're looking for organic, sustainable, vegan products, but also demanding products that work. So I think there's a lot of similarities in terms of ethos and understanding and what the consumers are wanting. So it's a natural fit for the brand, and we're hoping to, really penetrate the market and become a name that's well known in the Canadian market.
It's interesting. I always like how you talked about how it came about and looking for something that could help you and your children. But it's also amazing what experience and history can do in developing your company. I refer to your time spent in the United States where you worked on the front line with surgeons. Talk a bit about how that came to play and how that affected you going home and what you did with Antipodes Skincare.
Yeah, so about 25 years ago, I worked for a company called USSC, United States Surgical Corporation. And they were pioneering, at the time, instrumentation for laparoscopic surgery. So it enabled surgeons to move from conventional surgery to keyhole surgery. And I was privileged enough to be working for this company, which meant I was exposed to different procedures, gallbladder removal, bowel resections, and different types of operations in the operating theatre. And what it taught me is that best practice and really understanding your product, what you were selling, how to approach it was absolutely paramount. So it was a very unique role that I had with that company, and I think it really taught me a lot that I took into Antipodes as a business.
It's interesting too, as people get more and more intelligent and knowledgeable about products, they want to know that their products, say, are all from their country. They want to make sure that the practices are put in place. Talk a bit about the advocacy, because that is important to shoppers now. They want to know that there's morality behind their products that they're buying, and that people, animals, let's say, environment is not being harmed. Talk about how that has evolved with you and your company.
Yeah, absolutely. So green beauty ethos is absolutely paramount for us, and I agree, consumers are super smart nowadays. They can find out anything in 2 minutes flat. And so for us, authenticity, having international certifications, absolutely paramount. Transparency, we're 100% privately owned company, so founder-led. So I think that's really important as well, because people want to know someone is behind the brand, and potentially someone that people can relate to themselves. So absolutely critical nowadays. Consumers are smart and they're looking for answers.
It's interesting. I mentioned at the top of the segment that we had done a couple of segments on New Zealand wine. I have to ask you about some of the antioxidants that can be found in the Bonanza grape, which people may not know, but they certainly know where that can be found, and that's in Marlborough Sauv Blanc, which a lot of people in Canada like to drink by the bucketfuls. Can you talk a bit about that?
Oh, that's good. So one of our hero ingredients is our revolutionary antioxidant Bonanza grape, and it's the grape seeds from the award-winning Sauvignon Blanc grapes from the Marlborough region of New Zealand. And due to the strong sunlight in this part of the country, the grapes produce high levels of antioxidant or polyphenolic compound, and this compound we use across the Antipodes range. So in skincare, antioxidants help fight free radical damage, keep your skin healthier and looking fresher. So it's great that, we can use the byproduct, a sustainable ingredient from an award-winning New Zealand wine.
Elizabeth, it's been a great pleasure having you on the show. I welcome you to Canada and the greater present. We want to wish you the best going forward. I want to thank your team down there, and of course Sasha and James, the team here, for everybody putting us together. Not as easy as it looks, so I thank everybody that did the work to get us together. And also, we should mention all the information on Antivity Skincare you can find in our closing credits. Of course, Elizabeth Barbalich is the CEO and founder of Antivity's Skincare. Elizabeth, thank you for sharing your morning here on Our City Tonight.
Great, thanks, Jim.
You're quite welcome.
Hi, I'm Natalie Volz. I'm an actor, writer, and director, and I'm hanging out with these two cuties from Our City Tonight.
Cuties. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we're back here at the Moda Hotel. We were in Uva earlier checking out some great cocktails. Well, Lita was anyway, and we talked to David over there. But now we're in the sister restaurant just across the way called Cibo Trattoria, and we're joined by Chef Jesse, who's got some great food here. Jesse, welcome to our show.
Thank you so much for having me
You're
this
quite
evening.
welcome.
Oh my God, this is so beautiful presentation here, but I know it must taste just as good. Let's, well, where do you want to start?
So we've got a beautiful beef carpaccio here, AAA sterling silver beef, crispy capers, shallots, fresh radish, and a little bit of a surf and turf kind of play on this dish with some smoked Arctic char caviar. And then moving over, we've got burrata, that classic Italian cheese that everyone knows and loves. I think is kind of like the darling of Vancouver at this current juncture. So super creamy burrata. We've got some fresh pesto, crispy basil, and then giardiniera, which is essentially pickled garden vegetables, and then a little bit of a lemon and pepper gremolata across the top there.
I see a little fiddlehead in there.
You do indeed. The fiddleheads, they are one of those transient ingredients that chefs we absolutely adore, can't survive without, so to speak. So they'll be hanging around so long as they're present in the season. And then finally...
Yes, my fork is going in there very soon, so I'll let you continue, Jess.
And then finally, we've got our scallop dish. So these are hand-caught diver scallops. These come from Maine. We're actually in the process of setting up a bit of a BC hand diver-caught scallop program, which hasn't really been in the ethos, so to speak. Pickled ramps, which again is one of those chef ingredients, one of those ones that gets us all fired up every year. Buttered leeks, everything braised in butter is a little bit better. Butter makes it better, as our favorite chef once said. And then just that beautiful olive oil to finish.
And you put sort of a spin on classics.
Absolutely.
So, you know, in this dish, there's something in there. Well, you were sharing that with us. So can you give us your little secret ingredient in each one?
So again, with the carpaccio, it's that surf and turf transition, that caviar, that smoked Arctic char caviar, which is locally produced as well. It's unpasteurized, which really ensures that those pearls have that beautiful pop. And I mean, burrata's been presented a million different ways. Pesto, burrata, and pickles with that little bit of a local twist just makes it my own, so to speak. And then the scallops, we let the scallops do the talking, and then these are locally sourced ramps.
Well, we're back, and Jesse, what do we have for some mains?
So we're doing a pasta course. We've got a gluten allergy, we've got a garlic allergy, so we've met somewhere down the middle. This is one of my all-time favorite pastas, classic mal tagliati, which means badly cut. So they are intentionally that shape. It's not like I had a stroke mid-cutting. That's finished with some guanciale, which is what I always call face bacon. Some San Marzano tomatoes, which have a beautiful body to them, onions, Pecorino Romano is the classic finishing element there. And then on this side, we've got a risotto di Milano. So saffron, that luxurious spice there. That's what gives it that beautiful yellow color. Parmesan, butter, way too much butter.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, butter makes it better, as I always say.
Yes.
And then finished with a roasted bone marrow. Traditionally, the bone marrow is actually folded in, but I just think it's a little bit more visually striking to have that big slab of bone marrow on top.
Yeah.
So we encourage our guests to scoop it out and then fold that in as they eat.
And you know, we were saying to you before we came back on camera that we don't normally talk price on these segments, but it really needs to be said that this place, people walk by and might think, oh, it's out of my price range. And it's not like, these are two
Absolutely.
great meals here that are under $25.
Absolutely.
Which in this city is damn good.
To my mind, a trattoria, it needs to be approachable, it needs to be fun, it needs to be vibrant, and it has to have that vivacious attitude to it, which I think is really subdued when you have a high price point. So we try to make everything as financially approachable as possible while still offering the most exclusive ingredients that we can.
Very nice. Okay, Jess, our last course. This looks enough for 5 people.
It's raw, it's visceral, there's something sexual about that much meat. This is our bistecca fiorentina. Traditionally, a bistecca fiorentina is about between 2 1/4 and 2.5 inches thick. We all wish. What? A beautiful porterhouse, AAA sterling grade beef, finished with a fresh, early harvest olive oil, which brings out the butteriness of the meat, and then a little bit of an aged balsamic on there as well, and then the chef's darling Malden salt to finish as well.
Very nice. Hey, we should mention before we wrap the food up here at Chibo, you also have a pretty good and rotating dessert.
We do. I mean, my career actually started in pastries, so I like to keep a constant rotation of desserts in the repertoire. Basically, just things that are keeping me entertained, and keep it super seasonal. Vancouver being what it is. The weather changes day to day, so whatever kind of strikes our fancy in the kitchen is what we're going to offer that day.
Very nice. We're looking at photos right now of the desserts being served in your private dining room, your Madonna room.
The
great for
Madonna
parties.
room, which is the absolute darling of our building.
Very nice. Thanks, Jess. Well, we're back here at Hubcast Studios in Vancouver. We hope you're enjoying our city tonight. I'd like to remind you, if you have any comments, questions, or would like to get in touch with us, you can do so by reaching out to us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Our City Tonight. Well, we're over here in North Van at Lonsdale Quay. Good to see people out on a beautiful day as we continue to make our way through phase 3 of the new normal. I'm at the Polygon Gallery, which I'm happy to say has reopened. Come check this place out. It's one of the most acclaimed photography and media art galleries in the country. But we're going to go upstairs right now to one of their patios where Lita is with our good friend, Chris Chewy.
Well, we are here with Chris of Lavish Liquid. Chris, 11 years with a great bar service, and what are you doing now?
Well, we've had to make a big shift over to deliveries, as many bars and restaurants have had to. So we've created this other business called the Bar Cart. It's been our way to evolve and adapt, and it's been a way for us to keep our doors open. So it's been a lot of fun. We've actually still been able to offer craft cocktails to people at home to get that same level of experience you would at any other bar in the city.
And it's opened up a whole new business for you in the fact that you were doing bigger events. Now you can get to even 2 people at home and creating some amazing cocktails at home. Tell us a little bit more about what you see in the future.
Well,
bar
I mean, with the bar cart, it is evolving every day. Delivery programs we've all had to adapt. And what we've noticed that a lot of the corporate clients are looking at this as an opportunity for ways to have team building, but more remotely, and also into virtual seminars and virtual workshops, which is actually a lot more fun, being that you don't have to have a few drinks somewhere and worry about getting home. You can do this all in the comfort of your own couch.
That sounds great. And you have expanded with some partnerships, which we will be talking about.
Yes.
Well, where we are today, Polygon Gallery is one of your partnerships. Chris, can you tell us a little bit about that partnership?
Yeah, so we are actually the exclusive bar service at the Polygon Gallery, which hosts plenty of events. They've switched over to doing micro events, of course, right now, which gives people a little bit more flexibility in terms of how they want service done. They have lots and lots of space. It's a blank canvas room, beautiful, with an amazing view of downtown Vancouver, just sitting over in Lower Lonsdale.
Yeah, it certainly is a beautiful venue.
It is.
Chris, we are now joined by one of your partners, national partners, who has just joined us.
So it's my friend Alfred Sue joining us all the way in Toronto at Project Gigawater. So owner of Project Gigawater is Alfred Sue, going to show us one of the cocktails that we're featuring for our cocktail kit delivery.
Yeah, so we partnered up with Chris over at Bar Cart to make a refreshing fruity whiskey smash. It's made with Maker's Mark, and we've got a little bonus julep cup that comes with it. You can get this in Vancouver or Toronto. This cocktail is a combination of Maker's Mark bourbon, lemon, peach, and mint. And it's super refreshing, super crushable for this hot summer, you know?
Sounds like a delicious summer sipper. Now, Alfred, what are you guys doing there to evolve and keep up, I guess, and stay successful?
Yeah, 100%. Right now with the COVID thing, you know, we're normally like a casual cocktail bar in the Dundas West neighborhood. Right now, we've been offering an ever-evolving program of tasty cocktail kits for delivery. We play around with different things like tequila, whiskey, flavors like watermelon, pineapple, rhubarb, and more. And for the last few weeks, we've been doing a takeout window. Like we offer delicious smash burgers, which are really popular in Toronto, house-made ice cream, and a lot of cocktail kits to go as well too. And we just recently got news that we'll be able to open up a street patio in the next few weeks.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us. We certainly appreciate your time.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Well, we got to see Alfred's cocktail in Toronto, which is also available in the Vancouver area. Yep. So tell us one of your signature drinks that's been very, very popular. Chris,
yeah, I mean, obviously we have our pineapple margarita, our pica pina margarita, but one of my favorites, personal favorites actually, is our Spirit Trail. And this actually ties in really well with the Lower Lonsdale neighborhood. The Spirit Trail is one of the most famous waterfront paths that lead all the way from North Vancouver to West Vancouver. And it has beautiful flavors of chai, peach, lemon, aromatic orange bitters. Super, super refreshing for summertime. Great patio sipper.
And a good one for everyone. So is it a sort of an entry level into drinking bourbon?
I would say so. I've definitely turned a few people who are not bourbon fans into bourbon lovers, actually.
That's great. Yeah. Chris, thanks for joining us today. I know you have a few shout outs for some of your partners that are working hard with you.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, during this time, I want to, be super, super grateful and thankful for our partners at Beam Suntory, Polygon Gallery, of course, for letting us use the space, Bespoke Decor for this beautiful bar we have with us today, and Alfred, of course, thanks for joining us all the way in Toronto. It's been super, super fun working with everyone.
Well, what an excellent company, and again, congratulations for all your success, Chris.
Thank you very much.
That. Well, we're back here at Chivo Trattoria, and before we end the show, we want to introduce you to a couple of very important people from the hospitality group.
That's right. Well, Kelly, we'll start with you. We've been doing this with all the restaurants that we've been venturing out and filming in again, talking about the measures you guys are taking with social distancing and making sure that everyone is safe. Tell them briefly what you guys are doing here at Chivo and next door at Uva, where we filmed earlier.
Yes, of course. Here at Chibo Trattoria and Uva Wine and Cocktail Bar, we are taking all the necessary precautions and more for our customers and, of course, our staff to feel safe. One of the first things we do is before any staff come in, we take their temperatures and they sign then a form. We also have our sanitizing stations at the front of the room for all of our customers before they come in. We have the opportunity to sanitize their hands, along with kind of our contract, which is a promise that we do to make sure we're upholding all of the safety procedures, and also that the customers are upholding their end and not coming in if they have feeling unwell or have any symptoms. Another thing we are doing, of course, is all of our tables, as you can see in the background, are 6 feet apart so that our staff and our customers can walk around safely.
Excellent.
And Barrett, you have an amazing wine program here. Can you give us a little bit of information about that?
Yeah, for sure. We're actually pretty fortunate here in Chibo. We've got a lot of history in the restaurant. You know, we've had a lot of sommeliers and restaurant managers pass through this place over the years. And in that sense, we've been able to build up a really good selection of vintage wines. We've got some, you know, back vintage Ornellaia and Saskaya, that kind of stuff. Which is pretty exciting for us. For me though, you know, I'm very much about Italian wine in an Italian restaurant, but I really do love supporting our local wines as well. So, you know, I'm kind of looking to build a little bit more of a selection of British Columbian offerings, and then some of them, you know, more smaller, interesting producers from Italy. So.
Very fun.
Very nice. Well, hey, thanks to you guys. Thanks to Chef Jesse. Thanks to Morgan over at Chibo, or at Uva, I should say. Also, you want to see a little more about this restaurant and Uva next door? Look for the print version of Our City Tonight. It's in Iconic Concierge magazine, which is available now. I'm Jim Gordon.
And I'm Lita Leapens.
We'll see you on the next edition of Our City Tonight.
This segment of Live Debt Free was brought to you by Debtco.ca, helping Canadians get out of debt based on ability.
Sponsorship for the health and wellness segment is provided by Enorex Botanicals Limited.
Outdoor wear for Jim and Lita provided by Helly Hansen, alive since 1877.
Youngblood Mineral Cosmetics provided by Soluzione Spa Products.